Hello, Chairperson Pinto, members of the committee and staff. Thank you for the opportunity to provide testimony and for holding a hearing on this important bill. My name is Caitlin Holbrook, and I'm here to testify on behalf of DC Justice Lab and in support of the Fresh Starts Act of 2023, and to recommend the next steps to ensure that this bill meets its intent of reforming the food service program in the jails. For decades, the food in the jails has been egregious and people have demanded change. The Fresh Starts Act is a long overdue first step in solving the overlooked, or as my colleagues at Impact Justice say, the hidden punishment of food in our jails. The food was one of many conditions people incarcerated in the old jail demanded to be changed during the 1972 uprising. And the result of that uprising was that the courts found that the overall conditions in the jail violated people's 8th Amendment rights. Since then, in our current jails, the CDF, the CTF, and CCB, the food service program has continued to be egregious. Articles, investigations, inspections, litigations, and testimonials beginning in 1976 when CDF was built up to present day report on many horrific conditions of eating inside the jails, including but not limited to vermin-infested food, food served on urine and feces-covered trays, food served at unsafe temperatures, food that is moldy or rotten, food that is of too little quantity, food withheld by correctional officers as punishment, serving food not adhering to people's religious beliefs, food prepared in unhygienic kitchens, and food thrown at people by correctional officers while being served. Food is intrinsically human. Nothing is more human than eating, cooking, or breaking bread with others. It is an easy way to dehumanize and degrade people and physically commit violence against them. Harm conducted by correctional officers, DOC directors, mayors, council members, and police officers is still harm. Violence committed against those in our jails is still violence in our city. The food at the DC jails lies at the intersection of many racially and socioeconomically unjust systems, including health, food, and public safety. The wards with the lowest health resources, the highest poverty rate, the highest policing and arrest, the largest food deserts, and the jails are also the wards with the largest population of Black DC residents. Food insecurity acts as both a contributing cause and consequence of incarceration. The Maine Department of Corrections, which are the leaders in corrections, food service reforms, and hospitality training, saw a decrease in violence in its facilities and a reduction in recidivism across the state when they began implementing changes to the food program, instilling agriculture and culinary training since 2019, as well as reducing the use of solitary confinement to less than 1% of the entire prison population beginning in 2015. The Maine DOC grows their own produce and bake their own bread. They provide certifications that are recognized outside of the corrections facility. And last year, in partnership with Brigade and Impact Justice, they piloted the Chefs in Prison project, which instituted a chef to oversee the self-operated kitchens in all Maine state prisons. Some of the goals of this program are to codify a program that can be used in any prison and to connect and prepare people to enter culinary jobs after release. I've included suggested changes to the bill text in my written testimony, but in particular, 3 provisions in the Fresh Starts Act should be amended. 1, all people working inside the jail should be paid for their labor and not just those that work in kitchen facilities. 2, oversight in the bill needs to be strengthened due to the lack of funding allocated to the Corrections Oversight Improvement Omnibus Act. And 3, there should be an added provision to streamline the process of requesting a specialty diet, particularly due to the addition of a plant-based diet option through the Fresh Starts Act. I've also included in my written testimony suggestions for funding for this bill. I appreciate the committee keeping the record open for those who are incarcerated and wish to provide testimony, and I urge you to continue to pursue feedback from people who are directly impacted. Specifically, I hope you continue to pursue a roundtable to provide more opportunities for feedback from currently and formerly incarcerated DC residents on the Fresh Starts Act. This bill will face some implementation challenges because of our decrepit jail facilities. The council, the DOC, and CGL, the architectural consultant for the new jail, must consult experts who know how to build institutional kitchens, such as for large restaurants, hotels, or universities. For instance, when I spoke to the Chefs in Prisons project leaders, they told me of entering the prison kitchen for the first time and observing how much of the kitchen was wasted space and how poorly used funds designed a non-functional and illogical kitchen. We can avoid these mishaps and ensure a facility that will house the hospitality program outlined in this bill by speaking to experts who design kitchens that are made to produce high quantities of quality meals. We assign moral meaning to ourselves and others through the food we do or do not eat and the food we do or do not serve, which could be why our desire to control and punish those we incarcerate extends to their food. The Fresh Starts Act fights against this inhumane practice of punishment through food and withholding food. This bill will make us safer and healthier, as food should heal and not harm. I thank you very much for your time, openness, and for introducing this long overdue bill, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you so much, Caitlin Holbrook.